Thomas here with Much Props, going to give you another how-to video. Today we are doing something kind of simple. This is probably going to be a relatively short video for the most part. I've got a vault suit that I need to dirty up, so I'm going to use some paint and some bleach and some sandpaper and kind of rough it up a bit and give it some lived-in look to it. And I'm also going to take a pre-bought Pip-Boy that I bought from Spirit Halloween a while back and just dirty that up. There are a lot of mods that you can do to those things. I've seen some awesome ones from a few makers out there. Builderand's done some pretty awesome, epic Pip-Boy mods. I'm just going to dirty this one up, keep it simple, using some shoe polish. And then the suit will pretty much be done except for one more thing. And I want you guys to kind of help me figure out which of these that I'm going to make from. The sturdy metal armor has a helmet that goes with it, but I hate it. I think it looks stupid. It looks like a bike cop's helmet, basically. It's like just a regular helmet with no visor or anything unique about it, really. So I want to pick one that's a little bit more to the rusty looking thing that I've already built. I've picked out a few that I really like, and just because we choose one for this doesn't mean that I won't build other ones in the future, and I could easily swap those out. But I'm going to give you a poll to vote for, so please pick from that poll. I'll show you pictures at the end of the video so you can see what they look like. But without further ado, we need to get to weathering our vault suit and aging a Pip-Boy. Let's get to building. Alright, so the actual build portion of this video is only like 6 minutes long, so we're going to skip the random facts for this one and just focus on, I guess, giving you more information as I go. I bought one of these back at Halloween along with my vault suit. It was way too clean for my liking, of course, so I'm going to start by taking some brown and black shoe polish to weather it up a bit. First, I scuff up the whole area with a Scotch-Brite pad. Then I lay down a nice layer of brown and black shoe polish all over the entire thing. I dab off a little bit in certain places with paper towels just to give it a bit of randomness, and then I sit and wait for it to dry. I've made several Pip-Boys on the channel. I built and weathered the Pip-Boy 2000 Mark VI kit from Fallout 76, as well as made one from scratch out of some gingerbread for Christmas one year. I also made a Pip-Boy 3000 Mark IV like this one out of random materials. I used PVC fittings and Tupperware containers and sprinkler dials and all kinds of random stuff to make this one from scratch. If you haven't seen those yet, you should definitely go check those out after the video. Once the shoe polish is dry, go back over it with the Scotch-Brite pad again and knock back the dark areas. Hit the high ridges to give a good contrast. I did this 2 or 3 times till I liked the dirtiness and mixture that I had. I also went in afterwards with some silver rub and buff and put it along some of the edges to make it look like it was more beat up and scuffed. For this Vault Dweller suit, I wanted to just dirty it up a little bit. Once all the armor is on, you really can't see much of it anyways, so the first thing that I did is take some 120 grit sandpaper and roughed up some of the material. I just went over areas that I thought would get the most wear and tear, like around the legs and the ankles and kind of around the chest area. Also made sure to scuff up a lot of that gold trim. This adds wear and tear to my fabric. You could go really heavy and make rips in it if you wanted to, or even burn some holes in it here and there. I resisted the urge to catch it on fire. For the next step, I watered down some brown and black Plaid Effects acrylic paint and balled the costume up. Then I flung splatters of paint to make random stains all over it. Make sure to hit the front and the back of your costume. I used 2 shades of brown and the black to make several passes over my material, giving it variations in color all over the place. Once I was happy with the random splatters, I took more watered down paint and focused on areas that I thought dirt would accumulate the most. Around the arms, especially the ankles and the legs, along the neckline, and around any areas where my armor would lie. I didn't record this, but I took the suit outside, put it on a hanger, and then flung some bleach on it. Didn't want to do that inside, that's probably a big no-no. My wife probably wouldn't appreciate that. Then I also hit it with a little bit of spray paint in areas to give some more just layers of grit and dirt and nastiness. And then I went over it again with some more sanding. And we are finished. Here is the end result on my Pip-Boy. Like I said, I've made several Pip-Boys already on the channel. This one, I just thought I would go easy with it and use a pre-made one. I've seen some pretty awesome mods done to this, like replacing the screen with EL pads and chargers and all kinds of cool stuff that you can do to these. Builderand's got some awesome videos on him modding these. Evil Ted, there's a couple people out there. I chose using the shoe polish method because it really bites into the plastic, whereas with acrylic, you have to worry about sealing it really good because it would easily scratch off, whereas with the shoe polish it's not going anywhere. With my vault suit, I just kind of went to town on it and added dirty stuff everywhere, really made it dingy, keeping in mind that most of this is going to get covered up by armored parts anyways. I really like how the bleach splatter turned out. I took it outside and did that. I didn't want to get bleach on the carpet and then my wife lose it on me. So definitely do those things outside if you can. I add a little bit of spray paint on it too to kind of dirty up areas and kind of give a gradient or a mist effect to it. But overall, I think it looks pretty cool. This, like I said, is my first attempt at it. There are lots of tutorials out there on how to do this and probably do it a lot more professionally than I did. So let's get to the helmet vote. So I'm going to show you some images. Let you pick whichever one the community decides as a whole is the one that I'm going to build to finish off this full cosplay. And just because one doesn't win doesn't mean that I won't build it later, because most of you know or haven't figured out by now, I'm a pretty big Fallout fan, so I'll give you the options and then you can decide. The combat armor helmet. Ooh. To me, it kind of looks like a power armor helmet, and I thought if I made this one, I could easily just make the face part to go inside of it once I finish this one, and also make a power armor one, so you kind of get a 2-for-1 on that build. But this would be the first option. Obviously, with all of these, I'm going to match the paint scheme at least a little bit so that it fits with my armor, so I might deviate from what's in game, but that's the fun of cosplay, is kind of making it your own and twisting it to fit what you want. The next one is the Super Mutant Blade Helmet. I saw this one in a search, and I've seen them on mutants in the game, and I think they look super cool. It kind of already has a paint scheme similar to what my suit is, and could easily be adapted to fit onto mine. I realize that this doesn't really have necessarily to go with the armor suit I have, but I just thought it looked kind of cool, and a weapon on your forehead, why not? The next one is a synth helmet. I've been eyeballing this one for a while. I really like the design of it. Now, obviously, it's not a rusted up piece like my armor set, but like I said before, I could do some paint techniques on it to pull it over more towards my armor suit, maybe do a chipped paint with a rust underneath it kind of coming out effect to it, which would be super cool and unique. So that would definitely be another option. The fourth option is the Disciples Spiked Helmet. I saw this one and was like, whoa, 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 that one's pretty cool. Not only does it have a weapon on head, but it's got 3. I thought this one was kind of neat. I believe it is in the DLC, the Nuka-Cola World DLC. It's one of the factions in that has these crazy helmet builds on them. I thought that one would kind of work well. It's already in the same paint scheme. And then the last option I thought just to throw it up there would be my own take on something to fit my armor. So a custom build, pulling elements from the actual armor itself that I've already built, and then coming up with some random design that fits within it to make it go together. All these options are there, so hopefully you will vote and I can get a good idea as to what you would like to see. So with all that being said, maybe you will try and make some of this stuff and dirty it up and impress your friends with your ability to age stuff at a remarkable rate from new to old in less than a day. It does happen. Maybe you'll get some... Yay! And inevitably, they're going to ask you, how'd you make that? You can give them one of these, tell them much props.